Today's adventure takes us just over the Arizona border into New Mexico to hike the Catwalk. Kelly and I were joined by Richard and Lark, and we're all looking forward to this short but fun little hike. So I hope you enjoy the video.
Morning.
Okay, Richard, where are we at?
We're at Catwalk Recreation Area in New Mexico.
Beautiful.
And there's Kelly back there, bringing up the rear. This tree bark was actually quite interesting. You can't tell, but those ridges were so deep and thick, you could actually stick your hand down in there between them. At any rate, we found it interesting. But after a short while on the trail, you take that bridge across the creek, and it's all scenic, and that's the Catwalk, just cantilevered over onto the side of the canyon. Hard to believe it will support all of us, especially Kelly. The Catwalk's history began with the discovery of gold and silver in the Mogollon Mountains above the Whitewater River. In 1893, a town was established. There's Richard. Here's Lark. And you got anything to say?
Why, I always do. I'm on video. So, we're at the Catwalk, which is now a catwalk for recreational purposes, which was built to maintain water that was put to mining operation at some point in there. I got nothing else. I'm done.
Well,
I panicked. What? Fill it in. Fill in the spaces.
If it's a catwalk, that's what I wondered. Are you cats? You're not supposed to be here.
See, they didn't cement this part over that other.
In 1893, the small town of Graham, also known as Whitewater, was established on the west side of the mountain near what is now the parking lot for this hike. I'll have pictures of what's left of that old mill later on in the video. But the mill only lasted about 10 years. And then the Catwalk was rebuilt in the mid-1930s by the Civilian Conservation Corps. As you may recall, I talked a little about that in a previous video. The CCC was a public works relief program established by President Roosevelt that operated from 1933 to 1942 and was for unemployed, unmarried men ages 18 to 25. The ages were expanded later from 17 to 28. The CCC planted over 3 billion trees and constructed trails and shelters in over 800 parks nationwide during its 9 years of existence. I'm not sure what Kelly's doing there, but that's how old guys run. He's jogging down to the end of the catwalk here, platform, and it's interesting that this catwalk is actually out and back. Part of it is along the right side, and then coming back, we're on the left side hiking. There's Richard and Lark. Once you get off the catwalk, that was actually coming back, I think, as Richard crosses the little creek on the rocks. Making sure not to step on the rock that moves.
You could make it.
Some of them do rock.
You found the one that rocks.
That one isn't supposed to tip.
Yep, Richard offered encouraging words to his wife. You can make it. But he didn't offer a helping hand. But as you can see, they're both still smiling, so I guess all is good that ends well. I really like this pink rock, so I thought I'd get a picture of myself. So then I also took a picture of Richard and Lark. Just a cool setting. This whole catwalk, the bridges, the scenery of the rock, everything's kind of neat. Kelly even chipped in with some philosophical questions. He asked me, if someone offered you $200 because you're ugly, would you take it? And I thought for a minute and I said, of course I would. I'm ugly, not stupid. So then he thought he'd have to come up with something else. Here, Richard pretends that he's going to dive into that little creek. None of us fell for it, but it was a scenic little spot, that tree and the branches and the brook, and trail closed. Who would that be behind the sign? Surely no one from our group. There's Richard going down some stairs. And there's another trail closed. Who was that behind the sign? Surely no one from our group. There's Kelly and Richard. Lark heading through the rock tunnel. Lark on the bridge. It's a couple cool bridges. There's Kelly walking across the rocks. Richard, Lark heading back across the rocks. And no one stepped in or fell in this time. But just cool to see this catwalk on the way out and then on the way back. Two different trails, both spectacular, going down the Whitewater River. Trying to figure out how they drill into the side of this. Did they have to bring in helicopters? Even though this was originally built way back, it's been rebuilt several times since then. I think the latest was in the 1970s. Suspended in time. You still see some of the old remnants of probably some of the work that was done in previous years. But just cool scenery. Both cactus and flowers and trees and water. Did I mention that I got kicked out of IKEA the other day? I went into the store to buy a nightstand. And this attractive young saleswoman came up to me and said, "May I help you?" And I said, "Seeking one nightstand." And she got all upset, called the manager over, and he came over and said, "What did you say?" I said, all I said is, I'm looking for one night stand. And I got kicked out. I don't understand. Maybe, I've got 2 lamps. I could have used 2 nightstands, so maybe I just wasn't willing to buy enough. But that makes 2 stores I've been kicked out of now. We're off the catwalk, and now I've got stairs to hike up. You can see the catwalk over at that side. Creek running through there. And there's Richard waving and Lark climbing up the stairs. You have anything to say yet?
It's pretty.
This is all that's left of the old mill, and that's all that's left of this video, so have a great day.